Hello, fellow South Africans. The theme, the grammar, the agenda of my speech today is about political apocalypse, final destruction in the ruling party, in the reign of the ruling party, which is the African National Congress, the ANC. I'm going to start delineating, starting from the bands of the parliament. We saw, like, I think it was 3 to 4 years ago when the parliament catches fire, was ablazed by fire, and there was that lunatic, that insane guy who was caught up as the person who instigated banning the parliaments. If you could remember quite well, if you could recall quite well about that scenario, that pandemonium dilemma of the parliament catches fire. So I'm going to start my story just over right there. But before I could shift a little bit forward, let me start by saying the style of Cyril Ramaphosa's reign, it is rooted in dictatorship, if I could put it that way. But it is disguised, it is concealed in democracy. Ramaphosa's style of ruling, it is dictatorship, but it is disguised. It is concealed within the parameters of democracy because it is more appealing, and it is very convenient with the masses, with people of South Africa. So if we will recall quite well, the parliament catches fire, somebody like ablaze the parliament, or whatever the case may be. Let me just tell you the monuments behind the bands of the parliament, because I must put it to you, according to status quo, maybe the parts or the segments that caught fire within the parliament structure, I think it can be renovated. It could take about, I think, less than 20 million. And we have that amount of money to fix that issue instantly in just a fraction of time. But it is not happening. They kept on postponing, procrastinating, using the banned parliament as a problem. Remember, in parliament, if there will be a sauna where all the parliamentary members will sit down and hold one another accountable for whatever detestable, mischievous iniquities that any member committed or any structure of the ruling participated in. So now there is no way these people could be held accountable because there is no dialectics. The manner in which they discuss issues and trying to assess the truth of the opinion and the conclusion based on the calibration, in the ANC. So hence, I've mentioned earlier on that the style of Ramaphosa's ruling, it is rooted in dictatorship, but it is disguised, it is concealed within the parameters of democracy because it is more appealing. It's convenient to the masses, to the people. Democracy, which is not even there. He bans the parliament. He suspended the parliament. It's been almost about like 3 to 4 years now. The parliament has been suspended just simply because it causes a little bit of fire. That thing can be renovated in just a fraction of time, within a twinkle of an eye. We've got that budget to be dealt with such kind of issues, but they choose not to because they don't want to be held accountable. That's the whole purpose. He doesn't want to hold accountable. He doesn't want to take questions. He doesn't want to be interrogated, probed by everything that the country experienced, as he is the man who's serving in the highest incumbent, in the highest throne at this particular moment. So the enemy within. ANC is so freaking divided. I think back during the times of President Nelson Mandela, it was a little bit better than as compared to now. Let's then propel forward to Thabo Mbeki's reign. I think ANC was still united at that time. But this political apocalypse, I think it's commenced in between Thabo Mbeki and Zuma's reign. That's where this problem started to exacerbate when we see conflicts of interest, squabbles, quarrels between these two political giants. I'm going to call them political giants, veterans, which is Thabo Mbeki versus Jacob Zuma. If we will recall quite well that according to Thabo Mbeki's opinion, it was not accepted for President Jacob Zuma, to be the predecessor of Thabo Mbeki. That is why Thabo Mbeki strived at the level best of his potential to make sure that she removed Jacob Zuma from the cabinet. It was not easy because people were fuming, people were furious with rage because people, I could say, they resonate more with Jacob Zuma, and he fought to be back, and it went in his favor. Hence, we saw him ruling as the president of the African National Congress, which is the ANC. I just want to talk about the enemy within. The conflict started when the RET forces, which is tantamount to people like Ace Magashule, Jacob Zuma, and so forth. There are many people who were patriots, who were compatriots of the RET forces, because ANC was divided into two, which is CR17 movement as well as RET forces. And we've seen the RET forces being removed from the reign of the ruling party, which is the African National Congress. We saw people like Ace Magashule being castrated, ostracized from the cabinet, which was paranoid, which was unfair. That was a disparity within the ANC, which is one of the things that exacerbated this conflict of interest that we are experiencing within the ruling party, which makes it so freaking bad for the ANC because it is literally dying. Now, I just want to shift a little bit forward, going to why there was quite a lot of bigotry between CR17 and RET forces. Just simply because these two vanguards within the parameters of the ANC, they were carrying different ideologies of ruling. They were trying to use different tactics which tantamounts to their conflict. But as a subsequent to that, now we see people just departing from the ANC now, forming their political parties, which doesn't help the mission of Black people. So we see them when they try to depart from the ANC, because I've had some rumors, some hawks that BLF, Black Land First, or some sort of, as well as the ACT, political organization that is formed by Ace Magashule, and the MK, which is formed by the former president Jacob Zuma. Now, these three political parties, ACT, BLF, MK, their leaders are so blunt, grossly blunt, in a larger degree, far by extension. They are crystal clear, quite frankly, according to status quo. They say they will synergize, they will work hand to hand with the MK. They will synergize with the MK because they strongly believe that they are pushing one and the very same agenda, which is to obliterate the ANC. According to my perspective point of looking at things, I've just thought ANC, because we've seen that people were very fuming, people were furious with rage with the manner in which the ANC is ruling. I've just thought these people were just supposed to demise power to young individuals so that they won't be held accountable. But now we see that the division, it keeps on exacerbating. It literally kills the ANC. And I don't think it's going to get that majority. in this elections, I don't think that's possible. But we don't know what the future unfolds.